THOW Chicago. That's right, you all, and we are back again on another fantastic sucker free MONDAY. Just got back hanging from the brothers, you know, had a great time, talk, manifest, build, all of that good stuff. It is my hopes that you all have been doing the same today on this very prosperous evening. Whatever city and state you're from, whatever region of the country that you are in, we want to thank you for being in the chat room. Everybody right now. Yeah, from Chicago, from Texas, from California, from Florida, from the UK. We want to thank everybody right now for being in the chat room, for those who are and for those who are to come. Okay. But hey, it's a fantastic night. There has been some things going on here in Chicago. More murder. More gun violence. You know, just like you had this incident that occurred over here on North Avenue and Laurel, okay, which was stomping grounds for me in my teenage years. Back in the day, hanging out with those foes like Rose, Eddie Lee, Drew, Vernon, Shelby, and a host of others. B. Back in the day, high school, teenagers. And speaking of that street is where this shooting took place, where you had 2 men who were shot. 4 men who were shot, but 2 are in custody. You know, right outside the Habib right there, or was it Victor's Pizza? But it was right outside of Victor's Pizza, which is right across the street from Habib, you know, the liquor store. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, you know, it's like on the 5700 block of North Avenue. But right off of North Avenue in Laramie, Laurel, Lockwood, Latrobe, Long, all of that. But speaking of that street, North Avenue, I remember back in the day when we were in high school and we used to party at this place called the Da Vinci Manor. The Da Vinci Manor right there on North Avenue and Central, which was right across the street from the White Castles. Yeah, all of you Chicagoans know exactly what I'm talking about. We were teenagers partying, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. Wow. House music. Back then you had Farley Funkin' Keith. He wasn't called Farley Jack Master Funk. He was called Farley Funkin' Keith. You had Sean Robinson. You had Lil Dex. You had Kenny Jam and Jason. You had Rockin' Rosario. Damn, did we party hard right down the street from where the incident took place at. 2 of the men suffered gunshot wounds to the groin. One man suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the groin. Another had a gunshot wound to his elbow. Another to his leg. And the other one was grazed. That is according to the news. So as you see, ICE is not stopping anything here in Chicago. Nothing whatsoever. More deaths. They found a woman and 2 children in Lake Michigan here in Chicago. They found one of the bodies on 57th and South Shore Drive. and the other two bodies on 63rd and Hayes. You know how the lakefront goes on the south side. When you're cruising southward on Lakeshore Drive, you all know how it curves around. They say that they were a couple of blocks from the 67th beach. So you all know exactly where I'm talking about. They say that the body of the woman and the male child were found maybe a block apart from each other. But the little girl was found here on 57th and South Shore Drive. They are related. I have no idea of how they say that they figure the Chicago Police Department and those who are investigating the situation say that they think that it may be because of a domestic dispute. We are unprivy to that information right now on why they say that. They haven't released that information. Not the Chicago Sun-Times, not the Chicago Tribune, not the Chicago Police Department. We just don't know yet. Okay? And the coroner has not identified who they were. So this case is an ongoing investigation. Just like you have other cases that is ongoing. The case that we have been talking about lately, which is Charlie Kirk and Tyler Robinson, okay? Now, we understand who Charlie is. This Tyler Robinson fella is from St. George, Utah. Now, I myself, I hang in St. George, Utah, right there on St. George Boulevard. You know, like where you have the historical facts at, right across the street from the Mexican restaurant. And they have the Red Rock in the background with Dixie painted in white on the Red Rock mound behind you in those canyons. Yeah. I be in St. George, Utah. And just so happens that Tyler Robinson, the assassinator of Charlie Kirk, lived in St. George. Just ironic. The more you investigate, the more you find out. The rabbit hole goes so deep. It goes very deep. Right now, they have white gangs, white wars. Right now, in the conservative party, and those who follow them, which we will get to in a minute. Crazy, right? This thing gets so huge. Charlie Kirk, even J.D. Vance did a tribute to him today. Did you all see it? Have you all seen the videos that he did on Charlie Kirk's podcast? Even J.D. Vance, the vice president, said that everyone that's in the building, meaning the White House, their success or them being there is partially because of Charlie Kirk. Got him elected, got Donald Trump elected, helped get a lot of those Republican members in the White House. Charlie Kirk. He said that he was a hero for America. What do you think? Do you think that Charlie Kirk was a hero for America? Or do you think that Charlie Robinson was a hero for America? Which one do you think? And by the way, for those of you who are out there, if you have not done so already, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos on YOUTUBE. And don't forget to press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation about Charlie Kirk and Tyler Robinson. Many people already knew about the DNA matches that matched Tyler Robinson in regards to his shoes. How can you keep the same shoes on that you just committed a crime in? I guess he didn't think about that. He had the same shoes on. And there was a towel when they apprehended him. And there was a towel that had his DNA on it, not to mention the DNA that was left all over the rifle. But he refuses to cooperate with the feds. Yeah, we're talking about Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson is not saying anything, refuses to cooperate with the feds. Would you be like that after committing an assassination? Would you even want to talk to the police? Would you answer their questions? Would you give information to make their job easier? Or would you make them work for the taxpayers' dollars? And think it out. Seeing that they are the police, the feds, and the state police. Which one would you do? Would you let them sit there and squander and try to come up with theories on how you did it, why you did it? Because they still don't know why Tyler Robinson shot and killed Charlie Kirk. There are references across the social media streets, which we will get to in a minute. Tyler Robinson. Son of a sheriff. The rabbit hole gets deeper. Not to mention the fact that Tyler Robinson, according to his voting records, he was independent. He didn't say that he was Republican or Democrat. According to the records, he was just independent. So he really had no favor in political parties. But with information that was leaked through the social media outlet Discord, the investigation that they did in regards to that outlet, that channel, that social media platform, the feds found that Tyler Robinson confessed to killing Charlie Kirk before anybody knew about it. Yeah, Discord. And Discord said that they did not he or she, whoever represents Discord platform, did not say, that Charlie Kirk had planned this. No, this is just what they got. They weren't charged with anything at all. They just cooperated. But Tyler Robinson is not being cooperative, unlike his trans boyfriend and roommate. His trans boyfriend and roommate is actually cooperating with the feds. Some people say that the trans boyfriend roommate is a snitch. Do you think she is a trick or a snitch for helping the feds in the information in regarding to the assassination of Charlie Kirk that Tyler Robinson committed? Or would you, withhold the information? What would you do? I'm sure that they are going to subpoena her to court. I'm sure of that. But did you know, with this Discord media outlet, there is another media outlet that authorities say that linked Tyler Robinson to, which is the Groypers. Yes, the Groypers. Groypers. And who are they? They are a far right-wing group, conservatives. Just like Charlie's Point, Turning Point USA was a right-wing, as they say, Christian conservative party or organization. Yes, organization, because, they weren't a party. But they was a part of the party in regards to their beliefs: white conservatism, white rule, white power. However, upon looking further or investigating further, information has revealed that Tyler Robinson has been linked to the Groypers that is spearheaded by Nick Fuentes. Oh yeah. Nick Fuentes, the 27-year-old from Chicago, Illinois. That's what got me there. When I read that Nick Fuentes, was from Chicago, I'm like, damn. However, he went to school at Boston, or in Massachusetts at Boston University. That's where he went to school at. But that was a problem that broke out. A fight ensued. A verbal fight. Verbal disagreement. Verbal quarrelism between Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes. This started in 2019. Whereas you had Charlie Kirk, who was making money through books, who was making money through social media, who was having visits to the White House with the president, with the vice president. We're talking about Charlie Kirk. Fuentes, who's a conservative right-winger, felt that Charlie Kirk wasn't right-winged enough. He wasn't enough conservatism. Yeah, he didn't have much conservatism. According to the reports and Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes began to show up, and members of the Groypers began to show up at Charlie Kirk's speaking events throughout the country. And while they were there, they began to harass him, asking questions that some agreed to what he was saying, but went into a more white conservative view as to why he felt that way. They felt that Charlie Kirk wasn't conservative enough. He wasn't right-winged enough. They felt that he was going over to the other side of the map, or giving leeway to the other side of the map that would give the Groypers an image, at least Nick Fuentes, giving him an image of this guy crossing to the other side of the tracks. How much more right-wing does Nick Fuentes want or wanted Charlie Kirk to be? Yeah. How much more right-winged did he want Charlie Kirk to be? Seeing that Charlie Kirk was most definitely a racist, seeing that Charlie Kirk was most definitely a conservative and a right-winger, how could Nick Fuentes get confused of how Charlie Kirk was going to the left? Maybe it was because of jealousy. Seeing that Nick Fuentes did not get the notoriety nor the attention that Charlie Kirk was getting. Was Nick Fuentes coveting what Charlie Kirk had, or the movement of Charlie Kirk? And even though they are conservatives and Christians and they believe in the white rule and the Bible, I think that Nick Fuentes missed something in the Ten Commandments where it says, do not covet. Huh? Do not covet. Another reason that Nick Fuentes possibly did not get the attention that Charlie Kirk was getting, because not only was he interrupting, showing up, and asking questions against what Charlie Kirk was on, to put Charlie Kirk out there as being a betrayer to the Conservative Party, and the answers in which he would answer. Not only did he did it to Turning Point USA, he did it to streamlined conservatives. This is what Nick Fuentes did. He did not think that even the streamlined conservatives were conservative enough. He didn't think that they were right-winged enough. Him and his little group that they recruit people on social media, on the internet, and through small gatherings that they may have, but never on the level of Charlie Kirk. Who we got? Victoria. Hi, just like and subscribe. And I was wondering if you can add me to the live stream, please, because I have never been invited to a live stream. Me either. I want to thank you, Victoria, for being out there tonight, because you could have been somewhere else with someone else doing something else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say. So we thank you and we tip our hat to you. Thank you for being here. Now, I don't know. I'm on my phone right now. I'm not on my laptop. I'm not trying to cut this live off, Victoria. I don't want to risk that at this point. I don't want to risk that at this point. But I would love to invite you to the live chat. However, I understand that it may be an inconvenience for you at this time, seeing that I've never invited anyone to a chat from my phone. I'm looking at icons, but neither one of them are involving a live chat. So I don't want to cut this live short, but I would appreciate if you would continue to participate in the chat room. And for those out there who participated in the live chat last night, I have not forgot about you. I will subscribe to your channels as soon as this live is over. Not to mention the fact that I'm working on more episodes of We Got That Smoke, which is right here on this channel. And I'm working on another audiobook series for MOPOWERZ. So I'm sort of a little behind, maybe a day's work behind. Got to sleep, all of that. Got a grocery shop, laundry. But I be intending well to do and keep you all informed of what's going on, not only in world history, black history, but current events. So I'm sorry that I didn't complete my goals for today, but I will be continue working all night to bring you all that information that I promised you. So Victoria, if you can please just continuously participate in the live chat, that would be fantastic. I don't want to touch any buttons or icons that's going to end the live. Can you possibly be on your laptop the next time? Yes, that would be great. I will make sure to do that. And once again, shouts out to Victoria. Victoria, what city and state you from? Me? I'm from Chicago. The Windy City. City of Gangsters. Concrete Jungle. Chirac. Where it's crazy at. All the time. All day. It should be called the city that never sleeps. Can't say. That's okay. We want to thank you for being here anyway, Victoria. And shouts out to Victoria. Once again, we tip our hat to you. What's your insight as to what went on with Tyler Robinson? Do you think that Tyler Robinson was a hero to this country? Or do you think that Charlie Kirk was a hero to this country? But I live in California. That's all I can say. I love the West Coast. Be out there all the time. Used to live in San Diego. Used to hang out. Solana Beach, Ocean Beach, Mission Beach. Even hang out, 2 hours away in Carlsbad. Then go, further north to LA and all that. But in San Diego, let's go down to San Ysidro. Hang out. Even Oakland, even Richmond, California, which is north. All over California. Palm Beach. Yeah. Not Palm Beach. Damn. Is it Palm Beach? No, it's not Palm Beach. Palm Beach is in Florida. Damn, what's that Palm? What's you saying? I'm in California. Anyway, right? It'll come to me in a minute. But needless to say, it's a retirement area. You know exactly. Palm Springs. I'm sorry. Palm Springs. Palm Springs, California. And when I first got to Palm Springs, California, I was expecting more than what was there. But it's actually a retirement area. People still got money in that area. Had a great time there, went to the library and everything. What's that? So how tall are you? Well, can't really say right now. Tall enough, okay? Tall enough. But needless to say, Charlie Kirk, do you think he was a hero? Or do you think he was a racial antagonist, conservative, Christian man, as they would say? Yeah, well, getting back to the Fuentes guy, seeing that Charlie Kirk was getting more notoriety than he was, that was the problem with that. Notoriety. The Republicans, the conservative right-wingers, stopped paying attention to Nick Fuentes and his Groypers group because of the harassment and the controversy that he was causing in the conservative realm of things. You all on the same team. If anything, Nick Fuentes, you should have gotten some keys or some insight from Charlie Kirk and hung around him and possibly protected him a little more. Maybe Tyler Robinson would not have been able to have that neck shot like he did. Seeing that some people say that his security had failed him. But how much security do you need around you on a warm day in Utah? Huh? Right across the street from Brigham Young University? At the Utah Valley? You see, the man had a t-shirt on. And so did everybody else that was in the crowd. How much security was the security supposed to, put a Teflon around his neck? Was he supposed to appear with a bulletproof box on his head? I don't know. So how are you doing every day? I'm doing great today. I try to do great every day, Victoria. Just like I highly advise other people who view this channel and who don't view this channel, or who don't even know that I have a channel on YouTube. Just people in general. I hope that they are doing well. Hey, some people say that health is more important than wealth. And then you have other people who says that wealth is more important than health. But if you don't have no health, how can you spend the wealth? And if you are wealthy and you don't care about your health, I guess you'll be spending your wealth on your health. So, I don't know, Victoria. But anyway, I'm doing great. But I know that Tyler Robinson is not doing great. I know that Nick Fuentes is probably glad that Charlie Kirk is dead. I want to say that one more time. There's a great possibility that Nick Fuentes is glad that Charlie Kirk is dead, so that he can take his place. So that he can take his place. The competition is out the way. No one else is going to spearhead Turning Point USA like Charlie Kirk did. Jealousy. Jealousy can get you killed. They say that Tyler Robinson was radicalized by the Groypers, even from the way that he dressed. You know that frog, that cartoon character, and how they dress? They say that Tyler Robinson dressed like that frog. And according to the reports, most people can recognize that you are a part of the Groypers based upon the way that you are dressed. With the hat, with the glasses, with the jeans, you know. Well, I guess they can say that just about everyone in society based upon the way that they dress. But hell, nowadays is based upon how much cash you got in your pocket. Because a lot of people going broke today. I remember Tyler Perry told the world that continuously buying good clothes can keep you broke. He never lied. Good clothes will keep you broke. So I stopped buying them. You know what I'm saying? You said hell. What's wrong with hell? What's wrong with using the word hell? I'm not a Christian. What's wrong with hell? Everybody uses the word hell. Even children, 6 years old, uses the word hell. Like, where you from? I'm not a Mormon either. No. I claim no religious flag, even though I used to at one point. But I hang with some people who do claim religious flags, okay? You better pray to God that you won't say it again. Why not? Hell is right here on earth. Heaven is right here on earth. According to our realm of existence, heaven and hell are conditions of life. If you're a religious person, you say hell is in the ground. But how far have they dug in the ground and they've never found no hell? And no devil that's in the ground is calling all of the hell that's on this earth. Some people say that Charlie Kirk was the devil. Damn. Yeah. Some people say that Charlie Kirk was the devil. Some say that Charlie Kirk was ascending from a non-for-profit organization for right-wing conservatives and moving more into a political opportunist. What do you say about that? Do you believe in God? Yeah, I believe in God. Like, you know, of course I do. See God every day, don't you? I do. I see God every single day, Victoria. But the God of Christendom that Charlie Kirk believed in, that God didn't save him from Tyler Robinson. Some say that Tyler Robinson is the devil. I guess it depends on which side of the fence that you're standing on. That's what they say. Yeah, I believe in God. Yeah. So this Fuentes guy, have y'all did that research? Have you seen how they say that Tyler Robinson could have been connected to the Groypers? And then you have Nick Fuentes, who says that he is being blamed behind the murder of Charlie Kirk. But he didn't pull the trigger. I'm sure that him and his Groypers were there. They're at all his meetings across the U.S. Okay? According to the reports. But Nick Fuentes didn't pull the trigger. Now here it is. You have Tyler Robinson, whose family is strictly Donald Trump, strictly MAGA fans, strictly conservative. And this guy went left. Like I said, they even tried to connect him, which they linked him to Discord. They want to link him to other leftist groups that was not anti-gay, that was not anti-trans. So they trying to put him at both sides of the fence at the same time, which leaves him in the middle. According to what the FBI says, he said on Discord that he's very sorry for what he did today in Utah. It was a very bad thing. Paraphrasing, not quoting. Okay? But paraphrasing. But he said the same thing. The exact same thing. Just not quoting. Okay? Yeah, I did it in Utah. So he admitted all of this to online sources before he told his dad. According to those online sources, Discord, he said that he was telling a friend of his who was a sheriff. I guess they did not know that his dad was a former sheriff. But his dad did teach him how to shoot, because his family loves firearms. They love that Second Amendment, you know. Shoot it out, cowboy style. Come over here, we're going to bang, bang, cut your electricity off. Don't come over here playing. We like John Wayne. Yeah, and they meant that. They meant that. But these Groypers, how much more conservative do you want to be? Does it? Damn, what do you want to do with people who don't look like you? Like, of course, keep them in slavery. Of course, keep whipping them. Of course, keep beating them. Of course, they still doing that anyway. Nick Fuentes just been, on an upgraded version. But most minorities are still in slavery. White people still rule. I even seen one guy on social media who says that conservatism and white supremacy is not supremacy. It's a thought dependency that minorities may manifest for the fragile few white people who wanted to rule the country. Dig that. I believe in God. I don't see God, though. Well, is there anybody, Victoria, is there anybody that you have hated in the world, like Tyler Robinson hated Charlie Kirk, but you just did assassinate them? Have you ever hated anyone that much? Do you have a brother or sister that you may hate? Do you have a, other family member or an ex-constituent or an ex-boyfriend or ex-husband that you may hate, but not to the hate and the extent that Tyler Robinson went to when he assassinated Charlie Kirk? We're not talking about that type of hate. Seeing that you don't see God, though. But if that is your case, and there's a great possibility that you may be that way, like we all are, because we're all human, and there has been someone that we have hated in our life, that we wanted to kill them, but we didn't, How could you hate your brother that you see every day, but love a God that you never seen? Victoria, how does that work? I'm just saying. First book of Timothy in the Bible. But anyway, you don't need a Bible to believe in God. You don't need a Quran or a Torah or Talmud to believe in God. You don't need none of that. You don't have to go by the Septuagint to believe in God. Okay? That is the DNA that is within us that makes us who we are. Don't you think Donald Trump think that he's God? Or do you think that Donald Trump knows that he's a God? He's not the God, but he's a God. And if you don't say that he's a God, well, I would have to expound upon more on that situation or ask you more questions. All of the people that's in power, do you not think that they are a God, a form of a God? But when you get into that, you will have to ask yourself, who created the people who's on top right now? And what are they? Where did these a God come from? Not from the sky. Just like the assassination bullet that came and ripped through the neck of Charlie Kirk, it just didn't come out of the sky. It came out of a gun. The barrel of a high-powered rifle. But back to Nick Fuentes. So you got all of this war that's going on. That's between Turning Point USA and the Groypers, who even went bananas on mainstream conservatives like Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and other people that's in his administration, or all of those other Republicans who are far right-wing events. They show up. So in turn, for all of their disturbances, for all of their rudeness in regards to the party and how they felt that mainstreamers should be like, they lost all of their funding. Be done with them people. But where does Tyler Robinson fit into the middle of this at? They don't know what side of the fence to put this man on. They say that he had hatred in his heart. Was it hate or was it political? Was it Christendom? I'm just saying. We can't say that he was a leftist and we can't say that he was a right-winger, so we put him in the middle. What makes a man, a young man, 22 years old, was 22 or 21? Yeah. What makes him, at that age, wants to do that? In fact about it, you have these right-wing extended groups like the Groypers, among others, that spread all of this evil hate in the minds of college campus students who are the future of this world, right? All over the place. But we expect it to get better. We don't care about what's right or wrong anymore. It's what team is winning and how do I get on that team? And how do I get the bag? No more morals involved. Not even the morality for one's parents. Because children are killing their parents. They're robbing their parents. They're beating their parents. Over a cell phone. Over a video game. Over a parent telling their child to get a job or go wash dishes. Even the life of the parents are not valuable anymore to the children. Could it be because of demonic energies like that of Charlie Kirk? You all say that. You're wrong, Mo. He wasn't evil. He was a great guy. We loved him. but he represented racism. He didn't represent equality for all. He represented oppression. He represented white supremacy. He represented right-wing conservatism. Charlie Kirk. And the bombshell that I got was this. I was watching a big YouTuber. You know that big YouTuber that's got to pay those billions of dollars to those Sandy Hook victims' families, you know? Yeah, that guy, AJ. Uh-huh. Do you know if you go to AJ's channel, you will find that people on social media leaked it in the streets on how Charlie Kirk's murder was reported a day before the actual murder. That's crazy, isn't it? According to AJ and the receipts that AJ had, AJ showed receipts from Amazon. From Amazon, who had this posting or made postings stating that the incident occurred 19 hours before it even happened. Don't argue with me. Just go over to AJ page. Yeah, the Sandy Hook guy who got sued for billions of dollars to pay to those victims' families by a federal judge. But he's still on YouTube. I guess he got to make some money some kind of way to pay them people. But with all of that being said, I don't think that he would bring another catastrophe story. Another catastrophic story. I don't think that he would have done that. Or put his neck on the line if none of what he was saying is true. And if you go to AJ page, you know what? I wish I can do it for you right now. Maybe I can. Let's see if we can do that right now. I can't. It's dead. So that's it for that. Yeah. They say that his death, his assassination, took place a day before. How does that work? According to AJ Page, Alex Jones, he found online the video. I'm trying to find it right now. Give me a minute so I can show it to you. Give me a hot second. I'm really trying to find a device to show it to you. A young lady on Alex Jones had it. I'm going to show you. So do you all think that's correct? Do you all think that is correct? Alex Jones. I'm going to show you. And you tell me. Come on. I'm trying, you all, to give you the information. I don't want to talk to Carson Tucker. I want Alex Jones. I'm trying here. On. Okay. I guess it's the same one, but it's not. Maybe somebody got a different thumbnail. No, this is not it, most definitely. Yeah, but Alex Jones, you all. Trying to find that video. But anyway. Look up on YouTube, Alex Jones. I'm trying to find it really. Do you all think that it was planned? Do you all think that this was a planned hit on Charlie Kirk? You see, of course it was planned. Well, he knew Charlie Kirk was coming there. He sat on the roof. He had his rifle. Before it even took place, before the murder even took place, who got to Tyler Robinson? Who got to Tyler Robinson? Uh-huh. Do you think it was those right-wingers, or do you think it was left-wingers? That's the question. Nobody out there except Victoria, but I want to thank you, Victoria, for being here. Last night we did a great live, but I wanted to get this information out before others did, right? This is how it works, you know. And Alex Jones put it out there. Alex Jones. Can't find it, man. Yeah. I don't see the thumbnail, and I'm not going to go through all of these videos, but I don't see the thumbnail, which I originally watched the video at because I'm using another device, and it's not mine. But however, yeah, look up Alex Jones, and you'll see that video. They ain't took it down yet. They ain't took that down yet, so yeah. But anyway, do you think that it was planned the day before? How did they know the day before? How did they know that Charlie Kirk was already assassinated? How did they know that? How did they get this posting or postage, or how did they receive that? Now, is that a conspiracy theorist? Or do you think other right-wingers that wasn't the Groypers, but like other right-winger party members that set this whole event into motion? I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions here. Everybody has their own perspective. Everybody is placing dots together, just like the police are. And they got the man in custody, and they still ain't figured it out. Just think about that. They got the man right there in their face, and they ain't figured it out. And he not cooperating, according to the reports. So this thing is going to go on for a while. Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson, Nick Fuentes, and Lauren Loomers. Now, I learned about Lauren Loomers through another big YouTuber. And I checked out the information because they went a little bit further than I did. But upon discovering Laura Loomers was also a right-wing conservative female, If y'all want an idea of who she is, just think about the worst Karen that you've ever met in your life or will meet. That is Laura Rumors, who even said that in her email tweet that she took down about Charlie Kirk on how he was going over to the left a little bit. She didn't say he was straggling the fence. She said he was going over there. He wasn't too conservative for her either. Maybe she's one of those Groypers. No, Laura Loomis is a very powerful white woman who's a racist. Firm conservative. Firmness against black people, minorities, indigenous people. All for white power rule. All for dominancy of all of the people that's here in America that is not on her team. Laura Loomis. You all should check her out and research and find out who she is and what party she belongs to. And that little email that she left on the internet but took it down. She did not want to be implicated in the assassination of Charlie Kirk with the words that she said in that message. Excuse me. With the words that she said in that message, in that tweet, in that email. JJ, what's going on, my man? Hey, I'm glad you're back, man. Shouts out to JJ, you all. We had a good time here in the live chat last night. He was real busy saying some real positive things. And some people didn't think that he was saying some nice things, so he had some ops. But I'm with you, Jake. We had a fantastic time. And I want to thank you again and welcome you back to the show, Jake, because you could have been somewhere else with someone else doing something else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say on this LIVE tonight. There's a lot you missed. We've been going on for like an hour right now. Yeah, but there's new information about Charlie Kirk and how he was actually into a quarrel with none other than Nick Fuentes, who spearheads the Groypers right-wing group. That's also conservative, okay? So, I really think, like, that Jake is glad that Charlie Kirk is dead. What do you think, Jake? Do you think that Nick Fuentes is happy that Charlie Kirk is dead so that he can take his place? Maybe now we will see how this will play out in regards to the role of Nick Fuentes, and let's see if he escalates to get those book deals, to get those White House invitations back, to have sit downs and eat with the president and vice president and rub elbows with those conservative mainliners. Yeah, we'll find out. How long do you think it's going to take? 2 months, 3 months, maybe a half a year. If he can control himself, maybe they can use him for a higher purpose. Just as they used Charlie Kirk. Some even say, like I said, that the right-wing people whom he got into office or whom he helped with their political candidacy, they had him hit because of those Epstein files. We had a great video last night, didn't we, JJ? We had a great video. But needless to say, you all, that's my time for right now. I have to get back on these other videos, that I'm working on. Like I said, we had a fantastic time with the brothers. But we're working on We Got That Smoke. So be looking out for that. Look out for my other channel, MOPOWERZ, here on YOUTUBE. And go to those audiobook series. And go travel with us to those places that we do travel. It will amaze you at the things that you will see that you've never seen if you're not a traveler like we are. And if you are into Chicago hip-hop, old school gangster rap, comedy, independent movies, go over to my other channel, THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE, and find the likes of Twister, Shauna, Mano, Mecca, The Nomads, Pilot High, Diane Corder, Reggie Reg, Quintella, Dion Cole, Daryl Banks, Shari, Killer Bloodline, Project Pat, and a whole bunch of others on that channel, Official Business, Affiliated Fellas. Go check out that channel. THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space, hero. YOUTUBE. And on your way out the door, we ask that you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos here on YOUTUBE. And also press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your CONVERSATION. Thanks for viewing, you all. Never give up on your dreams. That's my time.